Okay.
Right now, you're like almost to the end.
Yeah.
You good?
Should be. Yeah, if I hear that, we're good.
Okay. Because it was all the way down.
Yeah, we turned it down when the music comes back on. So. Yeah. Is it on? Can you hear it say
All right, let's go ahead and pop it into live, and then
Send this out. Fire out.
go ahead and hit live. Go to live first, and let it. And it'll give us a countdown. Once it says we're live, then go ahead and hit fire at.
You want to do it from right here?
All right. We good? You guys are ready?
Grab it down there.
Your girls are ready. So Shivers. Turn on. Starts running.
Please welcome your Shimmers dance team to the field. The Shimmers dance team invites you to spread out all of those on homecoming court. So even if this Panthers team is still right, they gotta wear their shades. Cool is choreographed by junior captain Anna Crockett and sophomore co-captain Ashley Hatherson. They are under the direction of Mrs.
Payne lines up with Patrol beside him. Man in motion is Hartrip. He moves to the far side. Hand off to Hartrip. Cuts to the inside. Touchdown, Zumwalt North. They draw first blood.
Now let's watch Parker Monning here on the near side.
And he's pinched in like he's going to blitz.
He's ready for this.
Two wide receivers to the top. It is an option play. And here comes Monning. There's number 13. Three wide receivers, two to the top and one to the bottom for Cairo Payne. Payne back to pass, looking, throws this one deep towards the pylon, and it is caught for the touchdown by Tyler Oakes. Trips to the near side for Cairo Payne. Here comes the blitz, but man in motion is Tyler Oakes. Back to pass is Payne, goes to the far side. Here comes the bull rush, goes towards the numbers, floats one to the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers! What a catch again by Tyler Oakes. Three wide receivers, two to the inside, one to the top. Back to pass, here comes the bull rush, fumble! Picked up, there goes Futrell. There's a touchdown for the Panthers. With how fast he has to get rid of it, Monning might be lucky to have that one sack tonight. You know. So he stands at 13. He pitches now on the near side of the field. Three wide receivers. Here comes Monning again. Make that 14. They come set. Hand off. And then it is Cairo Payne who keeps it to the far side of the field. Has the first down. He's off to the races. And he will not be touched. Touchdown, Zumwalt North. Make that 34-0. Three wide receivers. Man in motion, Tyler Oakes. It is a keeper to Payne and then an option out to Oakes. He breaks free. He's into the secondary. It's a foot race across to the 40, to the 30. He has room. And he goes to the pylon for the touchdown on the option play. Tyler Oakes. Call that 75 yards. Neslage, Oakes, Hartrip, and then Newcomb. Man in motion, Oakes. It's a quarterback keeper up the middle. Cairo Payne cuts to daylight into the middle. Touchdown. Three wideouts. It's a quarterback keeper by Jack Newcomb, and he's in for the score. And there's a touchdown for the second string.
Easy to say, short, to the point.
Yes. Hand off to Stainer. Breaks to daylight. To the corner. Touchdown. Cam Stainer, biggest run of the year, makes it 62-zip north.
And welcome in to tonight's broadcast. I'm Michael Wagenknecht alongside Sam Dean and our cameraman Gavin Anderson. We're here at Fort Zumwalt North for tonight's homecoming game between the Fort Zumwalt North Panthers and the Washington Blue Jays. Beautiful night tonight, Sam. 68 degrees right now. This is exactly the kind of football weather we've been hoping for this year.
It's about time. The 90-degree weather's long gone, and this is really football season now. It really starts to kick in when the weather gets into the low 70s.
That it does, and we've got already a packed house here tonight, at least on the Fort Zumwalt North side. You know, Washington, a little bit of a travel obstacle for them tonight. But Fort Zumwalt North, they're going to have their stands packed here for homecoming. Right now we got the cheerleaders on the field, just had the dance team out there. It's also band senior night as well. They're going to be at a competition on the football senior night coming up here at the end of the year, so they won't be able to be participating in that. So they'll be getting their names talked about tonight before the football game as well. Tom Hartbeck isn't here tonight. He is at UMSL calling a volleyball game, but he did sit down with Coach Joe Bacon earlier this week to kind of talk about last week's big win against Fort Zumwalt South, what is to be expected against Washington tonight. Also talked a little bit about Parker Monning and a couple of the other guys and what they've done so far this year. Parker Monning is closing in on the single-season sack record, 15 through 5 games, so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But like I said, he sat down with him earlier this week to talk pretty much all Fort Zumwalt North football happenings, and we're going to go ahead and play that for you right now here on the Panther Broadcasting Network, sponsored by Prepcast.com.
Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. We are headed to Washington here Friday night. Tom Hartbeck sitting down with Coach Joe Bacon. So, Coach, 63-0 against South. And really nothing went bad.
Played real well in all three phases of the game. And South, they're real young, and they had some guys hurt. And so with them not being in a great position and us playing real well, everything went our way pretty much the whole night.
Yeah, they had a couple of standout players. Their quarterback showed some promise. They had a couple wide receivers that I thought stood out. But after coming off a game like that, 63-0, now you've got Washington, who is a pretty good team.
Mm-hmm.
How does that preparation change, or does it at all in the next week?
It shouldn't. Really, if we're doing things right, it shouldn't change much at all because we want to treat every team the same. And you're right, it's opposite records. South hasn't won yet, and Washington hasn't lost yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so the boys have been real focused this week, and I think they've done a good job of not just relaxing and starting to coast a little bit because they know Washington's good. And if we're not on top of our game, we could easily lose this game Friday night.
What do you think has pushed the team? Because you haven't really had a close game really other than that West game. What has kind of pushed them to keep on going in that offensive onslaught?
Well, we've got some pretty high goals overall for the season, and they understand we can't wait till the postseason to start playing great, and we've got to start playing great as soon as possible, and that kind of has to be who we are instead of somebody that we're trying to become once Week 11 rolls around. And so I think they understand the urgency of that, and they've done a pretty good job of being about trying to become that team.
Parker Monning's got 15 sacks as of now.
Mm-hmm.
I know coaches don't care much about records and stuff like that, but the state record is 23. He's got 8 to go with plenty of time. Do you think he can do it? I certainly think he can, by the way I see him play in the booth. But
it's certainly possible.
Yeah. Maybe just talk a little bit about his play because he really makes a difference on the defense.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's just so fast coming off the edge, and he's a very good athlete. And so it's that speed, but also he's very aggressive, and he's smart about the angles he takes and everything. And so, he's a weapon. And so if teams don't account for him, that's great.
Yeah. Do you think the multifaceted weapons like Tyler Oakes and then Kyra Payne as well, Isaiah, do you think that trend when you guys win throughout the season as it goes on more, is that going to be what contributes to it as it goes on, just having a million guys do a million different things? Or do you think we're going to start seeing a little bit more of a centric Cairo to somebody else?
I think there will be some games where it's mainly Cairo and somewhere it's mainly Hartrip and somewhere it's mainly Oaks and Futrell and all the other guys out there. I mean, really, we've got a lot of weapons. And so having all those guys at our disposal, the more those guys are available, the harder it's going to be to stop us.
Yeah, and this kind of brings me to, since you are coming off a 63-0 win, do you ever think to yourself, well, maybe we should go and try and play a Bentonville team like West has or an out-of-state team?
Well, I mean, our conference schedule is our conference schedule, so we're playing the teams we play, and yeah, that game got kind of sloppy, but Zumwalt West is a pretty good football program, and Francis Howell is a pretty good football program, and we've been trying. We've added battle for next year, and so yeah, I mean, Bentonville, Arkansas, or go to Chicago or whatever. We're finding some pretty good teams to play, and in fact, some pretty good teams are dropping us from the schedule, and that makes it tough. So, you know, we had to scramble a little bit for our schedule for next year. So, I feel like we do a pretty good job of getting some strong competition in there in our non-conference schedule.
So far, as the season's gone on, you know what the goal is. You've been to the finals. You know the goal is to win it, obviously, for every team. Are you seeing some of the same things that you saw in that team that went to the finals in 16?
I think there's the same ability levels there. There's the focus, and I mean, we're still only hopefully a third of the way through the season. And so, you know, if we were to make a long run, we're only a third of the way there, and a lot of things still have to happen between now and week 11 when the playoffs start. But with the way the kids have handled things so far, and really their focus and their desire to be better, which is a huge part of the whole formula. It can't just be us coaches want it. It has to be the players that really want it, and we see a lot of that. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, and that is happening every week, and I think it's pretty obvious. You know, the kids are buying into it. I noticed at the end of the game, you guys really kind of pep yourselves up. A lot of teams are really quiet on the sidelines. You guys really aren't. Is that something that's coaching, or does that kind of fall in with the kids?
I have no idea. As far as what's happening on the sidelines, I mean, I know what's happening out on the field, but sideline-wise, we did talk a lot with our older guys this past week about, hey, if you're no longer in the game, it's not about looking up in the stands at your girlfriend or just kind of kicking back. It's your time to coach and get these guys ready that are the future of our program, and I think they did do a real good job of that Friday night. Last
thing, do you have a lot of seniors who you can say, well, he's almost like a second coach on our team?
Oh, several, yeah. A lot of guys on the offensive line and guys in our backfield and defense, you see it a lot. So, and as the season progresses, I hope to see that more and more.
All right. Well, it's Washington this week. We'll see you next week. Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. Your play-by.
And we're back here on the Vandalia Bus Lines pregame show. The Fort Zumwalt North Marching Band seniors are being announced tonight, as once again they are going to be gone for the senior night here at the end of the year. Coach Bacon talked in that interview there with Tom about Parker Monning's speed off the edge. We're expecting to see that tonight. Coming in against Washington, kid's got 15 sacks in 5 games. The record's 23-10. So we're looking forward to seeing what he can produce tonight. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be queuing up the Athletic Republic keys to the game and then talking a little bit about the matchup tonight between Fort Zumwalt North and the Washington Blue Jays. You're listening to Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast.com.
Vandalia Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable, European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Are you looking to get that extra 10%? Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific, one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic Training Center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
Welcome back to O'Fallon, Missouri, Fort Zumwalt North, for the matchup between the Panthers and the Washington Blue Jays. Pregame is still going on as the band of 29 seniors are being announced. We're going to take a quick gander at the Athletic Republic keys to the game, as it's a matchup between two 5-0 teams tonight. One's in Class 5, obviously, with Fort Zumwalt North. One's in Class 4 with Washington. Really looking at the standings real quick. Washington's 5-0, but they're sitting 4th in their own district, which kind of lends you to say, you know, what kind of schedule are they playing? They're going up against a lot of winless teams, 0-4 teams, 0-5 teams. So, you know, being 5-0, what does that really tell you about this Washington team?
Well, this will be the toughest test of the year so far for the Panthers. They've had it fairly easy so far. Had a couple tough games early in the year against Howell, but last couple games had it pretty easy. So, you know, Washington, kind of a mirror image of the Panthers. They're going to run the ball a lot. They're going to use Patrick Rene. They use 3 different running backs. So this will be interesting for the Panthers to see how they deal with this heavy running attack from Washington.
Yeah, and one of my keys tonight is the senior attack. They've pretty much led this team all year, looking at guys like Cairo Payne and Isaiah Hartrip and guys like that, especially the offensive line. The offensive line has 4 seniors. The only guy that's not a senior is their center, and he's a junior. So this senior attack has to continue to lead this team, especially in this tough game against Washington tonight. You know, lead by example and just keep opening those holes for guys like Payne and Hartrip.
Yeah, and one way to, you talked about Monning, one way to neutralize Monning is just run the ball against him so he can't get those sacks. So maybe run to the opposite side too and try and stay away from him as much as you can.
And it's tough because he's very, very fast off the edge. I mean, we've seen teams try to do that this year, and he still catches them. But, yeah, running the ball, that's obviously going to prevent the sack because the quarterback doesn't have the ball.
Right.
and finally tonight, use that crowd to your advantage. You know, it's homecoming. It's going to be a packed house. You know, use that home field advantage tonight to really, you know, just get in the head of your opponent. It's crucial tonight to go to 6-0 and really kind of put your stamp and your lockdown on, you know, a district championship and really home field advantage throughout the district playoffs.
Yeah, this will be interesting. Last year, Zumwalt North won this game 44-6. I don't think we're going to see that much of a lopsided score this time. This is kind of a different Washington team, and expect them to put up a little better fight this year.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Looking at the standings in Class 5, Fort Zumwalt North obviously at the top of their district at 5-0 with 52 points. Battle, their nemesis, is sitting at 3-2. Francis Howell North at 1-4 and Smith Cotton at 0-5. So, you know, just kind of taking a quick peek at the district playoffs. Right now, you got a matchup of North versus Smith Cotton, and then Battle versus Francis Howell North. Pretty much leading on a collision course for a North Battle again this year, and Battle's, like we said, been their nemesis in the past. So this could be the year that they could really look at exercising those demons and making a deep run into the state championship.
Yeah, and for Washington, Lebanon, Rolla, Union, Marshfield, all kind of bunched up in District 5 Class 4, and the Pacific down there at the bottom. So it's kind of a statement game for Washington too. This is a good test for them. Zumwalt North, probably one of the toughest teams they'll play on their schedule too. So.
Most definitely, and just looking at Washington's schedule so far this year, they started off with a 7-6 win against Seckman. That one was probably benefit of the rain. That was that same weekend that we played Howell and kind of had a rain-soaked night. And then a 42-13 win against Pacific in Pacific, 42-14 at Warrenton, 49-18 at Fort Zumwalt East. And then last week they actually had a tough test against Liberty, a 22-15 victory. We saw Liberty a couple weeks ago, and their offense is unique. It's definitely a test when you go play a team like Liberty. They run this really funky offense, and Washington seemed to struggle last week with that. So we'll see if they're able to bounce back and put up a good game tonight. We've got the band activities are now done. We're going to take another quick break here and come back, and when we get back, we'll probably have the national anthem to go. So you're listening to Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast.com.
Vandalia Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable, European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Are you looking to get that extra 10%?
Very, very nice rendition of the Star Spangled Banner tonight. You get that with homecoming games, a lot of pomp and circumstance going into that. They are going to be announcing the homecoming court at halftime, I believe, and the football team has a couple guys on that team, on that court. Let me go ahead and grab those real quick. We've got Isaiah Hartrip on that, and Mahoney will be on the court as well. So we'll have that at halftime for you guys. I'm excited for this game. It's a beautiful night. It's two 5-0 teams. It's homecoming. This is one of those
packed house.
Yeah, this is one of those games that gives you the goosebumps.
This is going to be fun. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting test for both sides.
And while we got a moment, we'll take a quick gander at one of our sponsors. FunJet and 5-Star Travel and Cruises is your spring break vacation headquarters and has been serving the St. Louis metro area for over 20 years. FunJet and 5-Star Travel and Cruises has group space held on nonstop flights from St. Louis to Cancun and Punta Cana. They have special negotiated group prices on air and land packages, staying at Now Jade, Now Natura, and Now Onyx, just to name a few. The special group prices include nonstop flights, airport transfers, 4- or 5-night all-inclusive resort stay, taxes, and travel insurance. FunJet and 5-Star Travel and Cruises gives 5-star service and even meets and greets their clients on their departure at the St. Louis airport. Call the experts at FunJet and 5-Star Travel and Cruises today at 636-978-5510 to book your spring break vacation. Don't delay. Call today, 636-978-5510. It only takes $200 to hold your spot. I know we're talking about 60-degree weather and beautiful fall, but spring break's right around the corner. You got to get your trip started. Got to get your trip set up. And it looks like the Washington team is coming on to the sideline on the other side. And this is what you're going to see between District 4 and 5, too. If you look at the size of the Washington team as far as amount of players on there versus the size of a Fort Zumwalt North team, that's going to be another key tonight is, are they going to be able to wear this team down because of the smaller size on the Washington side? Yeah, and I was just looking at some of the stats for Washington, and Ryan Horstkamp leads the team in receiving. He's only got 6 catches. So it's going to be heavy on the run. I was watching Trevor Rini, the Washington quarterback, in warm-ups. He's got quite an arm, so I wouldn't put it past him to throw every once in a while, but you kind of got to look out for that. But it's going to be heavy on the run. Nate Bush, Christian Meyer, Cole Nollick, they're going to be the names we're going to be calling all night for Washington. And it's something that North has, I wouldn't say struggled with, but in games like against Howell and against West, we saw a little bit of a gap in the center of their line, allowing the run to kind of filter right into there. The C's part. Exactly. So it's going to be something we're going to have to watch, see if they've kind of cleaned that up as the season's gone on. If not, it could be, like you said, a very, very close game tonight. As we're getting ready for the teams to really take the field and get the coin flip. Like you said, you're talking about Trevor Rinne at quarterback, Nate Bush, Christian Meyer, Connor Vollmer, Bryce Meyer, Connor Maher, all guys that are on the offense. And they're going to be announcing the offense right now for Fort Zumwalt North. We also want to thank our sponsor for tonight's game, brought to you by St. Charles Flying Services, family-owned and operated business with family ties to Fort Zumwalt North players and 12th man. The business has been a part of the St. Charles community since 1974, and our cameraman Gavin Anderson is actually taking some flying lessons with him as well. So we've got a little bit of a personal connection ourselves to tonight's sponsor. Be nice to be able to fly wherever you want, whenever you want, down for spring break like you were talking about before. Always nice to be able to be in control of that kind of stuff. So we got a beautiful night here tonight. 68 degrees. Sun is now under the tree line, so we're not going to have to deal with that. It was that blinding glare for a while. It was tough. I was worried. Well, we're going to see some blindingness on the field tonight with this North team. Cairo Payne, Isaiah Hartrip, Tim Neslage, Parker Monning. I mean, just to name a few of the guys. I mean, you're still Chris Futrell, Tyler Oakes. This team has a lot of speed and a lot of talent, and that's what's been kind of on display throughout the season. It's been it's been one guy every other game. It's not been one guy consistently. 1 week, it's been Cairo. 1 week, it's been Isaiah. 1 week, it's been Futrell. The last couple weeks, Jack Newcomb has gotten into the receiving touchdown game. So this team spreads the ball around so well and kind of keeps you on your toes and not really knowing who's going to get the ball, where it's going. And when you watch the offense, they run the RPO perfectly to a T. You just don't know when Cairo's going to hang on to that ball or he's going to let it go.
And another thing about Washington, looking at their roster here, lots of juniors and seniors. I don't see a lot of 2022s and 2023s on here. It's heavy on the experience, so these guys have been around. And they're coming in their last chance to really make a statement, so this is a big one for them to knock off a good team in Zumwalt North.
That it is. As you saw the team break through the banner for homecoming tonight. Captains are getting ready to take the field for the coin toss. And just going through some of the stats for Fort Zumwalt North, Isaiah Hartrip, 8 touchdowns on offense. Cairo Payne, 6 passing touchdowns and 7 rushing touchdowns, so combined for 13 of the touchdowns so far this year. We talk about Parker Monning's 15 sacks, Hartrip with 3 interceptions. Owen Sears has been Mr. Consistent once again. Last year, 100% on his point after attempts. Missed a couple in the first week, but has been consistent ever since. Isaiah Hartrip on punt returns and kick returns has been stellar again. I mean, this team has been just perfect for the most part in every facet of the game. And we're hoping tonight that we're going to see more of that against this Washington team.
And defensively for Washington, not a lot of sacks. Their leader is Seth Ruther, and he's only got 3. So Washington, not a team that gets to the quarterback a lot, but looking at some of their head-to-head matchups, they don't give up a lot of points either. So
very, very
get the
true.
job done.
And like you said, if you're going up against a lot of running teams, getting those sacks is going to be tough because they're getting that ball out of the quarterback's hands very, very quickly. And as you drop down in districts and classes, you're going to see more run than anything else. So Cairo hangs onto the ball a lot. So you may see a couple more sacks than normal for Washington tonight. As the head referee is conducting the coin toss right now. Out there you've got Tim Neslage, Gavin Stricker, Isaiah Hartrip, and Cairo Payne are your captains, as it is every week. Stricker, the head of that monster offensive line that this team has. Senior Layden, Ryan Medley, Joey Martin, Gavin LaBelle, Gavin Stricker, Nate Rappling. This line has done an amazing job this year opening holes for Payne and Hartrip and Oaks and Neslage and Stainer when he's gotten in there. So we're going to watch for that tonight to see if that continues. We're getting ready to start this game. Crowd's ready for it tonight.
Yeah, a little electric atmosphere. I can't see an open space in the bleachers. They are packed from wall to wall.
And tonight, with it being so nice, we've got the windows open, so you're hearing the sounds of the game. You're not smelling it, but we're smelling the barbecue that they got going on. As North is going to receive the opening kickoff, they're going to be moving from right to left in their green tops, white bottoms with the white helmets. Washington is decked out in all white with the blue trim. And you'll say this for Washington, they may be smaller as far as amount of players on this team, but they are a big team.
Right, they are, yeah. That's what I was saying. Rennie, he's a big kid. So I was curious how they do like an option offense or a run-heavy offense. I'm interested to see his speed from the quarterback position. Looks like Camden Millheiser's going to kick off for Washington, I believe.
And that kick is going to be fielded at about the 9. Hartrip up the middle. He's got a bit of a hole. Makes a man miss. He's down the sideline at the 50, the 40. A man giving chase 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Panthers. Isaiah Hartrip off the kickoff, and just like that, this crowd has gone nuts.
Nobody touched him. 100 yards, or probably 90 yards, untouched, and nobody really even came close. I think it came down to the kicker, which was actually Blaine Stratman, and he had no chance. he blew right by him. So good start for the Panthers, I'd say.
Yeah, just a little bit. But that's what they are able to do. They're able to have that quick strike, and Hartrip, once again, not touched, found the hole up the middle, great blocking, no flags, which is paramount. Owen Sears will be on for the point after. And 17 seconds into this game, we've got a 6-0 lead right now.
Little adrenaline there, too, behind that. He had a little bit of a running start, ran onto it, and just took off. No chance of catching him.
And Sears with the kick. That is up and good. So quickly a 7-0 lead for Fort Zumwalt North. And the Panthers defense will now take the field after this kick. We'll get a quick look at the Washington offense. That's exactly what you want to see off of an opening kickoff in a big game at homecoming. Yeah, obviously you're not going to score every time, but a big return there by Hartrip sets the tone for tonight.
Washington brought a pretty good crowd on the far side for as long a trip as it is. It's good to see it's a blue and white over there.
Yeah, good support. We've seen a lot of great support on both sides for both the home and the away games. A lot of teams travel really well out here, and since they're all so close, it helps. But to see a team like Washington bring a good fan base, that just shows you the dedication and support that these players are getting, not just on the field, but off the field as well. Sears will be teeing it up.
Looks like it looks like 3 back there to return. Can't quite make it out. Maybe 5.
I think it's 5.
Nate Bush. Yep.
Nate Bush back to receive. Sears has a leg. Kick is up. Drives Bush back to the 5. Catches it back pedaling. Stops at the 15, makes a cut out to the 20, and he's going to be run out of bounds at about the 25. So the Blue Jays offense will take the field with 11:38 to go in the first half, 7-0 Panther lead.
And we'll see if they're going to burn clock here, use their running offense, and keep the Panthers offense off the field.
Even if they don't score, that's going to be key for them tonight, is being able to keep the Panther offense off the field with the amount of talent that's on that side of the ball. It also will wear down that offense as well, because you've got guys like Payne and Hartrip that play both ways.
Right, yep, that's a good point.
And they pack it in on the offensive line, so this is a definite run-heavy team. Man in motion. Up the middle to about the 33.
There's Christian Meyer on the carry.
And talking with my co-host who actually calls games for Washington, he says that they're going to come out in this formation most of the time. Very, very compact, very tight, a little bit of motion here and there to try and throw off the defense. But you're not going to see them spread out with trips or anything like that most of the game.
From a stat keeper's perspective, tough to determine who's the tackle when they all just kind of bunch in there in the middle.
Very true. Rene under center. In motion, handoff up the middle. And he'll get about a yard, maybe 2. That's going to be close to the first down. And they give it to him. First down, Blue Jays.
Like Lewis Pauly, possibly 25 for Washington.
There's Pauly on the carry. And this is going to be a little bit like the Liberty game we called a couple weeks ago. You got a lot of close-in handoffs that you're not really going to be able to see, and they're very quick handoffs as well. And North struggled with that in the first half, but they were able to lock it down in the second. Play clock down to 12. Man in motion again. Ball's handed up the middle. Another run of about 4 or 5 yards. Looks to be Pauly again.
Robert Rezick's in there on the tackle. Couple yards and a cloud of dust for Washington, and they're going to keep the chains moving. Keep the clock moving.
As we tick down to 10:05. 7-0 lead on the Isaiah Hartrip opening kickoff return. And we're already starting to see, like we talked about in the pregame, the middle of the field right there is a little bit open. So we'll see if they're able to close that down as this team runs more up the middle. As Rene drops back to pass, he's got a man open, and that ball is going to be dropped.
That was Cole Nolick. Mentioned him in the pregame, one of their guys they give a lot of carries to from the running back position, and that time
And
lets that one bounce off his hands.
That's a ball you've got to catch if you're Washington. I mean, wide open, hits him in the hands, just slips right through, brings up a 3rd and 5.
And a running team like Washington doesn't want to be in this situation in 3rd and 5. They want to be picking up yards on each play, so if you get to 3rd down, you're in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, maybe, but 3rd and 5, it's tough to run. Pick up the 1st down.
And in motion, hand off up the middle. He's going to get stopped at about the 48, and he'll come up about 2 yards short.
That was Meyer. Just a couple yards short, and I'm going to go for it here.
You're definitely in that range of, ooh, that's a tough one for me. I mean, on your own side of the 50, you're at about the 43.
Yep, Rene's staying out there. They're going to go for it.
Very, very good test right here.
They line up Connor Marr out wide.
3 running backs deep. That ball's handed off, and he's got a little bit of a room. He's got the 1st down and a little bit more up to about the 50-yard line.
Yep, that was Christian Meyer.
Meyer once again. So it seems like right now Meyer is going to be the workhorse, as Lewis Pauly will be his breather back.
Now they bring in Bryce Meyer, number 1, as well. Wonder if there's a relation there.
And it looks like we're having a little clock issue as well, as the Washington coach points up. And it looks like the clock wasn't running earlier, and now we're trying to figure that out. I don't know why he's so upset. I mean, it was kind of in their favor, to be honest.
That's exactly what they want to do, keep the clock running.
And it looks like the head referee is.
Now they're asking to run it.
So 1st down for Washington as they continue to drive here in the 1st quarter after the Hartrip opening kickoff touchdown.
Probably are going to talk at least 30 seconds off.
As the Blue Jays come to the line, Rene, 1 man behind him. That's Pauly. Meyer in motion. Pauly with the ball carry, and he's going to be stuffed at the line. Maybe falls ahead for 1.
And finally, the Panthers kind of just jam up the middle and make them run it outside. They haven't done that yet, and nowhere to go for Pauly there.
And that's going to be a key tonight too. Is if Washington runs to the outside, is North going to be fast enough to get out there? And on the flip side, is Washington fast enough to beat that speed that North has? 8:40 to go here in the 1st quarter. We may have a clock change here in a little bit, as there was a clock issue a little bit earlier. 2nd and 9 from the Panthers 49. 7-0 lead at the moment. Pauly with the carry once again, and he's going to be met and driven back about 2 yards. That's number 53 on the tackle, Gavin Stricker, senior.
3rd and 11 now. This is not where Washington wants to be.
And when North is able to get into this position, guys like Hartrip and Payne have done a really good job of being able to read the quarterback's eyes and following where it goes. And the interceptions and attempted interceptions have been on the high end this year.
This could be Monning time here.
Here we go. He's on the near side. It looks like Washington's kind of done their homework. They got a couple guys there ready for him. We'll see if he gets a good jump. Rene protected well. Hit as he throws, and that ball, almost intercepted, a little overthrown. That was Jalen Lee in coverage. And that'll be 4th and 11 as the North Panthers are able to stymie the Blue Jays drive at their own 49. 7:37 to go in the first quarter. Michael Wagenknecht alongside Sam Dean, Gavin Anderson, our camera operator.
It's going to be Caden Golick back to punt for the Blue Jays.
And Hartrip back to receive.
See if they want to kick it away from Hartrip. Well, we kick it right into the corner.
They certainly did, and that's going to get a decent bounce for Washington, go out at about the 12-yard line. So the Panthers offense will take over from their own 12. Their first look at the field. Even though Panthers got the ball first, they didn't need the offense. Once again, our sponsor tonight, St. Charles Flying Services. Attention veterans listening, St. Charles Flying Service is approved by the Veterans Administration to accept VA benefits for flight training. If you are interested in learning to fly, grab a pen and paper and we will give you the phone number to call in the second quarter. That's what we call a tease.
There you go. Stick around.
So Cairo Payne will lead the North offense to the field. Chris Futrell behind him. Hartrip in motion. Payne hands that ball off to Hartrip, makes a cut up the middle, and he's going to be brought down just past the 15-yard line for a gain of about 4. Jack Newcomb will be to our near side with Hartrip. Of Tyler Oakes on the far side. Tim Nesledge playing on the line as the tight end. Hope to see a little bit from him tonight as well. Payne barking out the calls. Oakes in motion. And he will get the handoff. Payne keeps the ball up the middle, makes a cut. He's to 30, and he'll be brought down at about the 34 on a first down run from Cairo Payne. And I tell you what, that's the issue that we've been having all year is Cairo has been so good at being able to put that ball in a guy's belly and then whoop, right back out.
I thought Oakes had it, and I thought Oakes was fumbling it as they were going after his midsection, and then next thing you know, Payne's got it for 15, 20 yards on the far side.
I'll tell you, this is our 6th game. We still are confused sometimes. So you seeing it for the first time, yeah, don't worry, we're in the same boat. So first down Panthers, 6:25 to go. Payne ready for the snap. Hands off to Futrell. Futrell busts a tackle, and he's down to the 38, and he just keeps churning his legs. That's something that we've seen with Chris Futrell all year. He will not go down easy.
Yeah, he had 2 guys around his lower half, and he still fought through and got all the way to the 43.
That'll bring up about a second and maybe a long 2 or a short 1.
Panthers getting 7, 8 yards per carry right now. Washington a little bit slow out of the gates here to stop them.
And the snap to Payne. Going to drop back to pass. He's going to be pressured. The loft set up for Hartrip. And what a catch by Isaiah Hartrip.
One-handed.
Wow, a one-handed grab at the Washington 43. Payne had some pressure in his face, just lofted that up, and Hartrip went out and grabbed it.
Drop it right in the bucket, and Hartrip, I think he might have trapped it against his helmet.
Shades of David Tyree.
There you go.
So first down in plus territory as the Panthers are driving on their first offensive possession. Up 7-0, 5:15 to go in the first. Futrell in the backfield. Hartrip in motion. And that ball's handed to Futrell. He's up the middle, makes a man miss. He's down to the 33, 32 for another Panthers first down.
Hot knife through butter right now. Blue Jays trying to tackle high. That's not going to work on Futrell or Payne or Hartrip. They're going right through those tackles.
You can just keep going on down the list, too, because they have guys all the way down. Clock continues to tick. 7-0 Panthers lead. Homecoming tonight, so a packed crowd. Line down. Man jumped on the Washington side. And we got a flag on the play. Looks like we're going to have offsides on the Blue Jays. So the clock will stop, but the Panthers get 5 yards for doing their job.
Can't give them free yards if you're Washington.
Not at all. And this is the area of the field where Jack Newcomb has made a living these last couple weeks, so don't be surprised if he may get a pass to the corner of the end zone here on 1st and 5. Hartrip in motion. That ball's handed off to Futrell. No, Payne keeps it. He was in the backfield and was almost brought down, but he ends up getting about 2 yards on that.
Just downhill, running right at him, right up the middle. Even bounced off a tackle at the end there and tried to get a couple more yards.
And guys like Cairo Payne have been starting to go out on college visits and getting some college offers. You can catch those on Twitter. They're very vocal about where they're getting offers from, where they're going to see, and you can also follow us on Twitter as well. 2nd and 2, 3:40 to go. Futrell with the ball, leaps over an offensive tackle and gets down for a first down at about the 15-yard line.
Panthers haven't even had a third down yet. They've just been 7 or 8 yards on first down and then get the first down on second down. And Washington just trying to stop the bleeding right now.
And this team practices hard day in and day out. I mean, just talking with Coach Bacon as the season has gone on, you know, they don't sit back and just say, okay, we won this game by this, we won this game by this, we're good. They work hard week in and week out, and you're seeing it so far. Hartrip in motion, and he's going to get the ball up, makes a cut. One guy misses. He's going to be brought down hard after a gain of about 2. Correction, that was Tyler Oakes on the carry.
Had his helmet ripped off.
It was a very hard tackle. And he's going to have to come off as his helmet came off.
I think he's looking for his mouth guard too. Or maybe a piece of his helmet fell out.
And that's something we haven't seen in many games this year is a physical, hard defense. So if Washington starts to play that, you know, really smash mouth, run you hard to the ground defense, could throw the Panthers for a little bit. 2:30, 2nd and 9, Hartrip in motion. Payne keeps the ball. There's a flag on the field. Payne up the middle, and he'll be down to about the 5 or 6 yard line, but that one's probably coming back as that flag's in the area of holding.
Looks like it's going to be a legal shift maybe from what the referee was signaling.
And they're talking to the Washington captain. And that's what it'll be, is an illegal shift on the Panthers. So that ball will be coming back. So that'll bring up 2nd and 14. And we'll see if the Panthers are able to handle this adversity early on here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's the first little hiccup they've even had.
And watch number 22, Newcomb, on this play. He's in motion. Payne keeps it, pitches it out to Newcomb. Newcomb makes a man. Oh, the ball's out, and it's going to fall out of bounds, so it will stay with the Panthers. A couple Washington players did have their hands on it, but fortunate for the Panthers, that ball's going to go out of bounds, and they're going to be able to keep that, and they'll bring up their first third down of the game.
Yeah, it bounced around. Couldn't tell what number that was that got a hand on it, but he couldn't quite hold on. It just rolled right over the sideline. That's a break for the Panthers.
Next, when that ball popped out, there were just Blue Jays around it, and no Panthers.
Oakes back in, 3 wide now.
Payne back to pass. No pressure. Makes a pump fake, and he's going to be in for the score. Nifty move there by Cairo Payne. Rolled to the right-hand side, pump faked, got the defender to bite, and busted it right up the middle for a touchdown for the Panthers.
Yeah, Washington dropping back in coverage. They forgot about Payne, and before they knew it, he had plenty of holes, and pretty easy jaunt right in the end zone, pretty much untouched.
And once again, with the weapons that the Panthers have, you can't just commit to one. You've got to be able to really cover and commit to every single player out there, because as you saw, drop back into coverage, Payne is able to escape the rush, and he's got a wide open lane to the end zone. Sears on for the extra point. Ball is up, and it is good. 14-0 Panthers, 2:03 to go in the first quarter. A nice drive there, about 90 yards for the Panthers after the opening kickoff was run back by Isaiah Hartrip.
Not a lot of resistance from Washington, just the one penalty on the Panthers to move them back, but they quickly overcame that. So Washington's going to have to make some defensive adjustments for the next drive.
And we've seen that with Fort Zumwalt North this year. When they've struggled, they've been able to get in, make adjustments, and Washington's not 5-0 for a reason. So they're going to be making their adjustments, whether it's now or halftime. They're going to be making their adjustments, so the Panthers have to be ready. Michael Wagon-Connect alongside Sam Dean, Gavin Anderson, our camera operator. I'll have the first and fourth quarters. Sam will have the second and third quarters. And I know he's excited.
I'm excited for that, yeah. Starting to get the names as we go here. Nate Bush is back to return for Washington.
The nice thing is with the green with the big, bold white letters.
I love the numbers for both teams are easy to read. That's what I like to see.
And Bush is driven over. He's going to fumble that ball out of bounds at about the 4. Hands on his head. That's a rough one. You feel for the kid on that one, because if he doesn't touch it, it could have bounced and bounced out of bounds. But it'll be first down on their own 4.
Yeah, that's a tough one, because if he lets it go and it does bounce into the end zone, he's got Zumwalt North players bearing down on him, and he's got to run backwards to pick it up. I don't know. That's a tough one. But, yeah, you can't let it bounce off your hands and go out of bounds.
So down 14-0. Washington will return to the field on offense with their jumbo set. Rene back under center. Meyer in motion. Pauly with the handoff, and he's going to get about 3 yards on that run. Under 2 minutes here in the first quarter. Homecoming tonight for Fort Zumwalt North.
It's a big drive for Washington. As a heavy running team, you don't want to fall behind. You know, they're already down 14-0. You fall behind 17-0 or 21-0. It's tough to keep running the ball and be able to come back. So this is a big drive. They got to put some points on the board on this drive.
10 seconds on the play clock. Rene under center. Looking over the defense. Man in motion. That ball's handed off. Squirts up the middle for about 2 yards.
Again, they're going to put themselves in a 3rd and 4 here.
And we saw this last week against Fort Zumwalt South. You know, North was able to jump out to a quick 21-0 lead, and that forced South to really rely on dropping back to pass, and that's when Parker Monting started to feast on that, and really the defense as a whole was able to feast on that. Monting's going to line up on the far side now. Might get a chance to come in unblocked. 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. And that ball's handed off and met and driven back for a loss of about 2.
Nothing doing there.
And that's going to bring up another 4th down, a quick 3 and out. And the Panthers are going to get the ball here right as about the first quarter is going to end with a 14-0 lead.
I don't see the punt team making their way on the field unless they're just going to let the game clock run out.
Would be the smart thing to do with 20 seconds to go on the play clock and 14 on the game clock.
Yeah.
So as the clock ticks down, a 14-0 Panthers lead. Isaiah Hartrip opening drive kickoff. Cairo Payne caps a 90-yard touchdown drive. As the clock hits double zeros, we're going to take a quick break, and Sam Dean will be back for the second quarter.
Looking to get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
Welcome back to Fort Zumwalt North. We're about ready to start the second quarter. Panthers lead 14-0. An Isaiah Hartrip kickoff return for a touchdown and a Cairo Payne 15-yard saunter into the end zone, and Panthers lead by 2 touchdowns after 1 quarter. Washington going to punt to start things off here in the second quarter.
And they angled it away from Hartrip on their last punt, so we'll see if they'll do the same thing here.
He's set up at about the 45 as Washington backed up against their own end zone. It's kind of a pop-up of a punt. He's going to field it at about, he's going to let it go at the 35, and it's going to roll sideways at about the 44. So the Panthers will start 1st and 10 from Washington territory here. Thought he could have caught that and maybe picked up a few more yards. It's interesting that he let it roll.
Yeah, I mean, he had some room too, so it's not like there was a guy bearing down on him, and may have just been worried about getting hit as he got the ball. And with the way the offense has been playing right now, inside the offensive zone territory, I think they'll take it.
Yeah, no worries there. You get 1st and 10 from the 44 here for Cairo Payne. As we begin the second quarter. Payne takes the snap. He's going to keep it. Eludes a couple. Got some space to the right side at the 25. Still going. Jukes the defender. And all the way down right around the 12-yard line. Cairo Payne, elusive. And right at about the 20-yard line, he juked the defender out of his shoes. Sent him to the sidelines and picked up a couple more yards. So Payne, a handful right now for Washington.
It's going to be a long night for Washington if they can't get a hand on the guy until he's 20 yards into his run.
1st and 10 from the 12. And Zumwalt North knocking on the door again. Favorable field position to start the drive. Futrell in the backfield. Going to hand it Futrell. Carries it right, and not going to get much. He'll get a few inside the 10. Looks like he'll be out at about the 7 maybe. So 4 or 5 yards there. It'll be 2nd down. It's going to be 2nd and 4 officially here. 11:07 to go here in the second quarter. Futrell again in the backfield for Payne. Man in motion from the left. They're going to hand it off, and that's going to be Isaiah Hartrip for the touchdown. And Zumwalt North leads 20-0. Hartrip untouched into the end zone.
Just multiple weapons. I mean, Futrell, Payne, Hartrip on that drive. I mean, we'll show you the replay right here. It was just a quick handoff from Payne to Hartrip, who's in motion. He just makes one cut and walks in pretty much untouched. Almost a false start there on the defense, but not even a hand on him.
Second touchdown of the game for Hartrip after he ran the opening kickback. Point after attempt is good, and the Panthers lead by 3 touchdowns early on here in the second quarter. And that's a tough spot for the Washington defense, starting with possession in their own half of the field. And Zumwalt North, not a time-consuming drive room in 4 plays. And now a tough mountain to climb. We'll see how Washington adjusts, being down by 3 touchdowns before halftime.
And they've never been put in this position this year. I mean, even the second game being just a 7-6 game, they have not trailed by this much and had to basically be forced to run an offense that they're not accustomed to running. So we'll see what they bring out here on their next possession.
You can stick with your running offense as long as the defense makes an adjustment and slows them down, but to this point, hasn't happened.
And have you considered learning to fly? Our game sponsor is St. Charles Flying Services, which is the only federal aviation-approved Part 14 flight school in Missouri. For more information about learning to fly, call 1-800-447-6066.
Bush back to return the kick here. 11:04 to go in the second quarter. Sears to kick for the Panthers. Line drive kick into the corner. Bush takes it about the 5. He'll motor to the right side and be gang tackled by 3 Panthers. And the Blue Jays will start with it at their own 20.
Also want to thank Bleachers. They're our season-long sponsor. Bleachers is home of the award-winning potato salad, fresh and over frozen burgers, homemade pizza, 7 homemade wing sauces. They brought some pizza and wings out for us last week, and it was delicious. Absolutely delicious. So thank you to Bleachers for sponsoring this season and also for giving us some food last week.
I'm sad I missed that. Stomach's growling now.
Oh, I know, and you're smelling that barbecue, the burgers and hot dogs. Oh, may have to saunter down there at halftime and grab something.
Illegal block in the back on the kickoff return for Washington. So once again, they're going to start kind of in the shadows of their own goalpost from the 10-yard line. Rennie under center. He's going to hand it off to Lewis Pauly, I should say. And he'll get a couple. Get it out past the 10, I think. Going to be at the 11-yard line, so a gain of 1 on the play. Should be 2nd and 9 for the Blue Jays. Zumwalt North packing it in on the defensive line with the linebackers. Everybody up close to the line. And Rennie turned to hand it off. Nobody was there. Miscommunication. He takes a sack. And
was that Monning?
If it was, it might have been his easiest sack of the year. Rennie kind of just had to turtle. He turned to hand the ball off, and whoever was supposed to be there was long gone. And he had to give himself up. So 3rd and 17 for Washington now, and they're at their own 2-yard line.
I'm wondering if Washington might be a little starstruck or what. This is not what you were expecting to see from Washington early in this game.
Yeah, they're just looking for a way out here. Rennie will throw, and looking for 28, Christian Meyer overthrew him. Going to be 4th down again. They're going to have to punt from even further back than their last one. This time the punter is going to be pretty close to back of the end zone. And they're making it easy on the Panthers right now. Hartrip back to return. He's about the 37-yard line.
And the last punt they had was just a little bit of a pop-up, probably only went about 30 yards in the air, so we'll see if he can get a little bit more leg into this one.
And again, it's going to roll a little bit. It's going to take a big bounce all the way to the 50, and that's about as good as you can expect. Down by number 24, Davis Gruber. So the Panthers will start 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line.
And you just got to love the passion Isaiah Hartrip had. As soon as that ball was touched by Washington, he was like, man, I wanted that one. Yeah. It bounced. I could have gone.
One of these times, he's going to take one. He's let 2 go now. And one of these times, he's going to get his hands on one. Look out.
And Coach Bacon was talking in his interview earlier this week about how many of his senior players are like mini coaches on the field, and I think you see that with guys like Payne and Hartrip as well.
Payne will drop back to pass here. He'll throw to the near side for Newcomb. And that'll be a gain of about 7. So the Panthers kind of mixing it up there. Or that was Tim Neslage, I should say, number 11 for the Panthers. Second and 4 now.
And Neslage is one of those guys that they're really trying to get involved in the offense. He's been playing a lot of tight end this year. So obviously, and especially in high school football, you don't see a whole lot of tight end work. But he's got good hands and he's got good size and speed.
Panthers spreading it out a little bit here. Payne to his right. He's going to take it himself. He's going to get the first down inside the 40, about the 37. We'll see where they mark him. Going to mark him at the 38, it looks like. Enough to get the first down, though, and the Panthers keep the chains moving.
And once again, you see the elusiveness of Cairo there, as there are 3 Blue Jay players in the backfield ready, kind of waiting for him. Yes, a couple of them were coming off of blocks, but 3 guys back there, not a single one was able to lay a hand on him, and he was able to get the first down with ease.
1st and 10 from the 38. 8:27, clock is stopped. Payne to his left. He's going to keep it again. This time he's going to go down. And that was, as we pull up the number here for Washington, 95. Looks like Trevor Burr. So Burr takes him down in the backfield, and one of the first negative plays for the Panthers so far.
I think Coach would take that, though, because otherwise he was looking to pitch that ball outside to Futrell, and that could have even been more dangerous. So I think Bacon would be happy with the 5-yard loss than a fumble at that point.
2nd and 15 from the 43. Washington jumped, and they're going to get 5 yards right back. So erase the sack. And it's going to be 2nd and 10.
And that's something we've seen a couple of different games this year. Payne's been pretty good on the hard count, getting a couple of teams to jump.
So right back to the 38. Man in motion from the left. Payne is going to flip it to Hartrip. Hartrip still motoring and going to get about 6 or 7, I'd say, close to the 30. Be 3rd down. Going to mark him at 33. 3rd and 5. Scoreboard says 3rd and 4 for the Panthers. Going to go 3 wide to the left. Futrell in the backfield. Payne looking left. Still has it. Now he's going to take it himself. Flag is down. And not sure if he got the first down anyways. And we'll see what the call is here. Look like a hold on Zumwalt North.
And you're starting to see Washington's getting into the backfield a little bit easier this drive, and that's testament to the changes that they're probably making on the sidelines. But that's going to make things difficult for Payne in this running game, is if they got a couple of guys in that backfield, they can bottle the run up pretty good.
So this is going to move them back to close to the 50 here. It's going to be at the 48. It's going to be 3rd and, or rather, scoreboard just shot to 4th down, but it's going to be 3rd and about 15. So we'll see what the Panthers have in their playbook here for 3rd and long. Payne was looking for a handoff, wasn't there. Now he's going to throw and almost intercepted, knocked away by Bush.
They're going to get called for an illegal shift there because Hartrip was in motion and then Futrell went in motion at the same time, so they're going to be driven back just a little bit further too.
Yeah, Payne turned around to hand the ball off, or at least play action, and nobody was there. Tried to throw. Well, if I'm Washington, I'm declining this penalty, and
that's what they're doing.
And there you go. So it's 4th down. Any opportunity to get off the field. As much as you want to flip field position, Panthers are capable of getting a first down no matter how far they have to go. So, and is Payne going to stay on the field here? They're going to go for it, or they thought about it?
Yeah, I think they thought about it. Hartrip is their punter, though, and he's actually got a really good leg. He's had some pretty good punts so far this year, but if it was 4th and shorter, I think they may have faked it, but this is definitely going to be a punt.
Blue Jays send Luke Croter back to return, 44, and this is going to sail over his head. It's going to bounce inside the 10, all the way down to the 5. And it's going to stop at the 2. Oh, man. Tough prick for Washington. They can't get out of the shadows of their own goalposts. Great punt from Hartrip. And again, Washington will have to start deep in their own territory.
And you'll see this all game. Hartrip is an all-around, just very good player. You know, he's able to punt. He's a runner. He's a running back. He's a wide receiver. He's a defensive back. You know, all around a very, very talented player.
So Washington still tied up in their own end. Going to have to find a way out. Going to have to mix it up a little bit offensively as the run up the middle not working so far. As the Panthers continue to stack the box. .606 to go here in the second quarter. Rennie will hand off to Pauly again. He'll pick up maybe a yard. It's going to be second down. Not quite to the 5-yard line yet. Give him a gain of 1. It's going to be second 9 from the 3.
And you wonder how long Washington's going to really be able to sustain this type of offense. And if it's the bulk of their offense, how are they going to really adjust to having to throw the ball here as this game gets later and later?
Rennie under center, man in motion to the right, going to hand off to Bush, Nate Bush. He's going to be taken down, no gain there. Might have even lost a yard.
That's Parker Monning in there. You could see his speed. He was able to get into the backfield pretty quickly and kind of blow that up.
And they're still going to be at the 3, so no gain. It's going to be 3rd and 9 again. And they just need one play right now just to flip field position.
Yeah, it's not about scoring points at this point right this second. You just got to get this first down and get out of the shadow of your own end zone.
Rennie will hand off. Bush running to the right. Got a little bit of space down the sideline. And I think he got the first down. It's going to be close. See where they mark him. From the looks of it, I think he got it. That's going to be a first down for the Blue Jays. So a big play there. Nate Bush with the carry to the right side. And he's able to move it all the way up to about the 13-yard line.
And they definitely changed the look of what they're doing there. I mean, for the most part, they've been running up the middle, up the middle, up the middle, and that one was a nice stream out to the outside. Got to the edge and was able to get the first down.
Hand off to Pauly. Pick up a couple. Get it to the 15, I think. Second down. So Blue Jays kind of mixing up a little bit, getting some sweeps. 21-6. After some technical difficulties, we're back now as Washington gets on the scoreboard with a 2-yard run by Cole Nolick. 21-6 after the extra point was blocked. And 12 seconds remain before halftime for the Panthers here. So we'll see if Hartrip, probably the last chance here, if he can take one back again or if Washington's going to squib it on him and keep it away from him. And they do. Little pooch kick. Taken by Parker Monning actually at about the 40-yard line, and he's going to pick up a few kick return yards to about the 45. 8 seconds left here in the second quarter. 21-6, Zumwalt North leads. So we'll see if Panthers want to chuck one deep here or just kneel on it, go to halftime. from their own 45. Payne looks like he's going to at least try one. And in motion from the left. They fake the handoff. Payne's going to keep it. He's going to pick up a few yards. Nope, he's still on his feet. Was kind of wrestled down, thrown down to the ground, but stayed up. And that'll be the final play of the second quarter. So the Panthers jump out to a 21-0 lead. Washington pulls one back on their final drive of the half. It's 21-6, Fort Zumwalt North leading Washington at the half. You're watching it on the Fort Zumwalt North Sports Network.
Vandalia Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Are you looking to get that extra 10%? Reach the with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
Our second senior princess is Anna Woldman.
When she was asked where she sees herself in 5 years, she said becoming a wildlife conservationist and enjoying the beauty of nature. On her arm is Spencer Files. Spencer was asked who is one person that always brightens his day, and he said Nicole Aston because she brings out the best in me. Our final princess is Sydney Sontheimer. When she was asked her favorite pickup line, she said, if I had a penny for every time I thought of you, I would have one because you never leave my mind. Escorting her is Isaiah Hartrup. When he was asked what words he lives by, he said, you get what you work for, you can't cheat the grind. Put your hands together for your 2019 homecoming court. Can we have returning Queen Hannah Boyer and returning King Teddy Hickey please come forward to crown the winners? And now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for your 2019 homecoming king and queen, Miss Nicole Aston and Mr. Spencer Files.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's put up for the homecoming court.
Well, as the band gets ready to take the field, we'll just have a quick little recap of the first half there. Game started off with an Isaiah Hartrup kickoff return for a touchdown. Cairo Payne ended up engineering a 90-yard touchdown drive, and then Isaiah Hartrup again from 13 yards out before Washington punched it in late in the first half there.
Yeah, Washington, a little bit of some signs of life there on that final drive. They took it the length of the field, almost 100 yards, and a Cole Nollick 1-yard touchdown run, and they get on the board. Now, they don't get the extra point, so they're down by 15 instead of 14, but something positive to take in the locker room for the Blue Jays at halftime.
And like you said earlier, they're going to be receiving the second half kickoff, so they can kind of parlay that into maybe potentially more points, and all of a sudden this is a game again, and they can get back to their offense and continue on with the running game.
Yeah, try maybe change the halftime talk there with that last minute touchdown run there, and again something positive to take into the locker room.
So the homecoming festivities are going to continue here at Fort Zumwalt North. We're going to go ahead and just let those run through for the rest of halftime. As you see the dancers out on the field, they'll also have the band coming out as well. So we'll be back after the band performs and get you ready for the second half. You're listening to Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast.com.
And welcome back. We're underway here in the second half. Again, we appreciate you sticking with us through some technical difficulties tonight, but at the half, 21-6, Zumwalt North leading Washington. And Washington with a chance here to start the second half and put some points on the board, get right back in this game. Down 3 touchdowns. A little bit of signs of life at the end of the half with a short touchdown run, a long touchdown drive, almost 100 yards. And they trail 21-6. Rene will drop back. He'll throw to the near side. The catch is made. Good tackle there from Cairo Payne. Catch was made by number 84, Ryan Horsekamp.
All right, I think we are back up and running. That was some connection issues that we were having there with the bandwidth. So like Sam was saying, thank you for sticking with us.
It's going to be third down here and about 6 or 7 for the Blue Jays. Definitely don't want to go 3 and out. As, like I said, one scoring drive here will put them right back in the game. Rene under center. He's going to pitch it to the far side for Nate Bush, and he's going to go nowhere. Taken down close to the backfield. Cairo Payne in there again. And it's going to be fourth down for the Blue Jays, so they go 3 and out and give the ball right back to the Panthers.
And as this year's gone on, we've seen the second half adjustments that Coach Bacon has made have just worked out time and time and time again. So even when they've struggled against teams like West and Howe, they've come out in the second half and been able to basically shut down the other team's offense, and that's where they've won a lot of these games.
Caden Golick back to punt for the Blue Jays. Hartrip back to return. Line drive into Zumwalt territory. It's going to be down at the 30 by number 24 for the Blue Jays, and that's Davis Gruber. So the Panthers will start first and 10 from their own 30.
And while we have a second, we'll take a look at one of our sponsors. If you have your own plane or are interested in owning a plane in the future, get to know the team at St. Charles Flying Service. They offer maintenance on aircraft fuel and are a fully operational FBO, fixed base of operations. So make sure you check out St. Charles Flying Service.
First and 10 for the Panthers from their own 30. Cairo Payne in the pistol. Takes the snap, going to take it himself. Stiff arms a man, still going down the sideline, eludes a tackle, and trying to leap his way past the 30. He's going to get it to about the 26. About a 40-yard run there for Payne. First and 10 for the Panthers, and they're just like that. They're in Blue Jays territory.
And that's exactly what Coach Bacon and the Panthers wanted. A quick 3 and out, and then one huge play on the first offensive possession, and gets them right back into scoring territory.
So first and 10 from the 27. Payne again out of the pistol. This time he's going to give it to Cameron Latina. I believe that was number 2, Latina. Or no, it was Futrell. And it's going to be second down from the 25.
We'll see if they get a guy like Tyler Oakes involved in this game now. He didn't have a whole lot of touches in the first half and hasn't been put in motion a whole lot either. So we'll see if they go to Oakes here in the second.
Payne will take it himself, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield by number 95, Trevor Burr. And that'll bring up a third and long for the Panthers.
And Burr was able to shed his tackle and met Payne right at the line of scrimmage and drove him back a yard.
He had his eyes set on one guy there. He was going after Payne no matter what. So third and 10 now from the 27. Again, Payne out of the pistol, man in motion from the right. Payne will go to his left. Elude a tackle, still on his feet, makes a spin move, and finally going to be taken down. Again, it's Burr in the backfield. Back-to-back sacks for Trevor Burr, and it's fourth down for Fort Zumwalt North. And This will be a long field goal attempt. We'll see if they go for it. It's about 4th and 15. Offense is staying on the field right now. Possibly a pooch punt situation too.
It's definitely one of those in-betweeners. I mean, you're close for a field goal, but it's maybe just outside Sears' range, and you're just a little too far in for a punt. So, I mean, at this point, you almost have to go for it, see what you can get.
Payne is going to stay out there, out of the pistol again, 4th and 16. 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. He's going to hand it off, a little double reverse there to the near side, and they are not, it's going to be close.
That's very close.
They're going to measure, I think. That was Jack Newcomb on the carry. Going to spot it at this is a big spot. They're going to spot it between the 21 and the 22, or rather the 11 and the 12, and they do say it's a first down.
Wow. That's incredible. That's a gutsy call there by Coach Bacon, and a huge play by Newcomb to get that first down on 4th and 16.
Double reverse, lots of changing directions there. Newcomb able to narrowly get the first down. So 1st and 10 from the 16. Payne will hand off, and this time Tyler Oakes is going to be taken down in the backfield.
Well, I said I wanted Oakes to get the ball. I'd much rather it be going the other way, but a great play there by the Washington defense.
And that was Burr again, his 3rd tackle for a loss on this drive.
He took Coach's halftime speech to heart. He's come out here on fire.
2nd and 15 now. 22. Zumwalt North knocking on the door again. Oakes takes the snap, moves left. Look to throw. Now he's going to pull it down, and he's going to be pushed out at about the 16 or 17. Be 3rd down here.
Looks like he might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, or actually a couple yards behind.
You're going to mark him at the 20. 3rd and 13. Another long 3rd down.
The offense has struggled here these last couple possessions, and you have to give Washington's defense a lot of credit. They've really kind of slowed this team down and bottled them up and pushed them back, even when it looked like they were getting some positive yards.
Payne will take the snap, look right. He'll throw. Its catch is going to be made by Hartrip and taken down inside the 5.
That was a heck of a play by Hartrip. He caught that ball and he was dead to rights, about 4 yards short of the first down, but as soon as he came down with the ball, he stopped and just cut right up the middle and was able to get the first down and make it 1st and goal. Heck of a play.
Now they're at the 3. 1st and goal. Clock ticks down to 5.5. Quick moving 3rd quarter here. Now Hartrip out to the left. Single coverage out there. Payne will hand it off. Futrell in for the touchdown. So Chris Futrell gets in on the action, and Zumwalt North extends the lead to 27-6.
And that's key. That was a huge drive. I mean, they were pushed back a couple of different times there as we go to the replay on this, and they were able to, get the 4th and long. They were able to get a big play on 3rd and long, and then Futrell punches it in right there for the lead.
Sears on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. 28-6. Zumwalt comes out of the half, forces a 3 and out, and then goes down to the field themselves from their own 30. Big play on that drive was the long run by Hartrip. Get him into plus territory.
And while we await the kickoff, who's ready for Spring Break 2020? FunJet and 5-Star Travel and Cruises has group space held on nonstop flights from St. Louis to Cancun and Punta Cana. They have special negotiated group prices on air and land packages, staying at Now Jade, Now Natra, and Now Onyx, just to name a few. Special group prices include nonstop flights, airport transfers, 4 or 5 night all-inclusive resort stay, taxes, and travel insurance. FunJet and 5-Star Travel and Cruises gives 5-star service and even meets and greets their clients on their departure at the St. Louis airport. Call the experts at FunJet and 5-Star Travel and Cruises today at 636-978-5510 to book your spring break vacation before our group space runs out. Don't delay, call today. That's 636-978-5510.
Now a crucial drive here for Washington. They got to respond. Down by 22 again. Kick is away, line drive, down to about the 5. Be taken out to about the 25 by number 14, Connor Marr, before he's taken down. So the Blue Jays will start 1st and 10 from just inside their own 25.
And if you're Washington, you really got to start going back to more of these sweep plays that they were seeing success with. Getting to the outside, making North run sideline to sideline to make the tackle versus up the middle, as you know, North has shown that they can stop that run up the middle, but the sweeps they've been having trouble with. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more misdirection, a little bit more of that stretch the offense and stretch the field on this drive.
Trying to spread it out. That gave Panthers some trouble at the end of the first half. Give is up the middle. Get a couple of yards out of it. And that was Pauly, I believe. Now Christian Meyer, 28 for the Blue Jays.
Seems like Meyer is one of those guys that's going to line up on that far side, and when he breaks, he goes in motion, he actually goes backwards and starts coming toward the quarterback as that snap is being conducted.
Now they go 3 wide to the left. And a shotgun. Rennie will throw. He'll find Bush. Bush is going to be taken down. He's still on his feet. Kind of fighting for it. Still going. Bush, he's going to get the first down out of this.
Oh,
now the ball's ripped away. And the Panthers have it. And they're going to be taken down inside the 20. Sometimes you just want to go down.
Wow.
And Bush just kept trying to push and push and push and push. And finally, the ball was ripped out of his hands. Sometimes referees will stop that for forward progress. This time they let it go.
I mean, they are having a discussion right now, and we'll see what the call is. There's a flag on the field.
And it is Panther football.
But there is a block in the back
I
call.
think after the fumble. Yeah.
But that's a huge play.
So Nate Bush with the fumble after the catch. Block in the back on the fumble return. And the Panthers are going to start with the ball about probably the 25? Yeah, 25-yard line. But that's a killer for Washington. Yes, not only do they turn the ball over, but now another golden opportunity for Zumwalt to cash in again and really break this thing open.
And like you, I was surprised that they didn't blow that dead.
Payne out of the pistol, takes the snap, looks to his left, flips it to Hartrip. A forward flip. I think that's officially a pass. And Hartrip's going to be taken down at about the 21 with forward progress.
Yeah, that's an odd always forward pass. That little shuffle pass is considered a forward pass, so you've got running backs and quarterbacks that are making those passes and getting credit for that.
2nd and 6 from the 21. And the Panthers knocking on the door of the red zone again. Payne with Futrell in the backfield. Hartrip to his left. He'll move left, fakes it, fakes the pitch, still going, flag thrown. Payne inside the 10, taken down. See what the flag is for.
Probably going to be holding against North.
And it is. So that'll back them up a little bit. It's going to be 2nd 16.
And penalties have really hurt the Panthers, really since the second quarter is when it really started to come down. So.
And Zumwalt North is going to call a timeout here and talk about what they want to do. These second, third, and longs have been no issue for them, really. Had a huge 4th down conversion on the last drive.
We'll see what Coach Bacon has drawn up right now. As they mark that, they're going to make that.
3.5 to go here in the third quarter.
They're calling that a spot, spot foul.
So it's going to be 3rd and 9 when we come back here. Ball spotted on the 24.
That's a new one for me. I didn't think they made holding calls as spot calls.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. So we'll see what they draw up out of the timeout. Crucial play in this game right here. It's actually going to be 2nd and 9 from the 24. Payne surveying the defense out of the pistol. 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Futrell in the backfield. He's going to keep it. And maneuvers through, fumbles the football. Blue Jays pick it up. They are signaling that they did. They do. Washington has it. There's a flag on the play. We'll see what the flag is for. Fumble was picked up by number 84, Ryan Horskamp. And it looks like it's going to be on Zumwalt. Yep, and that penalty's declined. Washington gets the ball back, so they dodge one there. 3:19 to go here in the third quarter. Washington gets the ball back.
And that's the second time we've seen the Panthers lose the ball. First one was not recovered by Washington. This was, and that's really the first time this year we've really seen multiple fumbles from this Panther team. They're usually very good at holding on to that ball.
Yeah, it looked like Payne was going to pick up a couple yards and had it swatted away. So Washington will start with it from their own 19-yard line. Rennie drops back to pass. He'll throw. Man is open down the right side. That's Meyer, eludes a tackle, and he is going to take it to the house. Nobody's going to catch him. Hartrip is going to try, but will not get there. One play for Washington. They're right back in it, 28-12.
And he caught that ball and split the 2 tackles. They both went in for the hit instead of going for the man.
And he looked up, and he had nothing but green grass ahead of him, or green turf. Took it to the house.
As you can see on the replay there, both guys were going for the hit. He caught it and just went right between them.
81 yards, 28-12. Washington cuts the deficit. See if they go for 2 here. Try and make it a 2-touchdown game. And no, it looks like they're going to kick the extra point. So Stratman, who's had one blocked, knocks this one through. And it's a 15-point game. 3:05 to go in the third quarter. And what a turn of events there. Looks like Zumwalt's knocking on the door of busting it wide open, and Washington gets the fumble. And one play, they take it to the house, 28-13.
Well, you said in the pregame, you know, they really only had 6 completions this year, but it's not a matter of how many you have, it's what you do with them. And on that completion right there, 80-yard touchdown right there.
Rennie to Meyer. Meyer takes it from midfield in. And a little bit of change momentum now for Washington. Now their defense, if they can make a stop here, get this back to a 1-score game.
And this is the kind of game that you want to have if you're undefeated, really on both sides of this team. I mean, you don't want it to be a big gap like it is right now, but having these teams have to face adversity, either being down or having to overcome turnovers and battling a tough team. So this is a good learning game too.
Little squib kick. It's going to be picked up by Oaks. And Oaks is going to be taken down at his own 20. Tackle made by number 40. That's Chris Griesenauer. And with 3 minutes to go now in the third quarter, Zumwalt will start with it from their own 20-yard line.
And our game is brought to you by St. Charles Flying Services. The St. Charles-based airline offers charter operations for business flyers into thousands of locations. Charters are also available for freight hauls, including medical supplies, computer equipment, and manufactured work. Visit online at stcharlesflyingservice.com for information about charter flights.
So the Panthers start with it from their own 20. Payne out of the pistol with Futrell in the backfield and 4 wide. He'll keep it himself. Eludes a tackle, still going. Payne on his feet, and he'll take it all the way close to the 35. Gain of about 14 on the play. First down for the Panthers.
And Payne just letting that fumble go. Moving on from that, takes that for a first down run.
So Panthers might want to slow it down a little bit here, kill a little more clock, and they can take this drive all the way into the fourth quarter. Take the snap, hand it off to Hartrip. Still going on his feet to the 40 and finally taken down. Tackle made by Nate Bush. Be a gain of about 4 or 5. Oh, they're going to take it all the way to the 41, actually. So that's going to be second 3. Big run there from Hartrip off the sweep. Second down.
We saw in the first half that Washington was having issues tackling guys like Hartrip and Payne, but they've definitely adjusted and started to make better tackles as this game has gone on. As you saw in that one on Hartrip, he almost broke it, but they brought him down easily.
Payne takes the snap. He'll throw to the near side for Neslich, and he's pushed out of bounds. Flag down, might be a late hit. And I think this is going to be on Washington as Zumwalt looks like they're... And it is on the Blue Jays. Personal foul, late hit on the Blue Jays. So that'll give them 3 yards, and Panthers will move into Blue Jays territory all the way down to the 31-yard line.
And really, Washington's played a very disciplined game. They've had a couple of offsides penalties, but outside of that, they've played very disciplined. That's a surprise that they got that personal foul there.
So Payne now operating from Washington 31-yard line. Fake the handoff, throw it deep, and the catch is made by Hartrip at the 2. Kind of shrugged off Blue Jays safety, made the catch all the way down to the 2-yard line for the Panthers.
I mean, he's very lucky he didn't get called for offensive pass interference there, because you can see him pushing off there right near the end. But just a great play to adjust and a nice diving catch. Made a great one-handed catch in the first half as well, so Hartrip all over the board right now.
Payne put that into space for him between the hash marks. And good catch by Hartrip, so now first and goal from the 3. Payne will keep it himself, try and maneuver in, and he is. Touchdown, Cairo Payne, 34-13. And that's going to be a tall hill to climb now for Washington as they trail by 21. Just under a minute to go here in the third quarter.
And just great bounce back from North, from recovering a fumble, then fumbling it again. One play, 80-yard touchdown pass to be able to come back, put together a nice scoring drive there. Yes, aided by a 15-yard penalty, but they still did the work.
That'll kind of take the wind out of the sails of Washington as Sears is on for the extra point attempt. Kick is up, and it's good. 35-13 with 53 seconds left in the third quarter.
Once again, we want to thank Bleachers for supporting us this year. Remember, after all Fort Zumwalt North home games, the kitchen at Bleachers stays open till midnight. So make sure you guys get down there after the game. Enjoy some wings, some pizza, some burgers, some home award-winning potato salad. Make sure you guys get over to the Bleachers after the game. They will be open till midnight tonight.
So a 22-point lead restored for Zumwalt North as the offense responds after the 81-yard touchdown pass by Washington. 80-yard drive capped off by a 3-yard run by Cairo Payne. His second of the game, 35-13. Sears on to kick it off again. Nate Bush back there to return. Boots it away from the 40. Bush will take it at his own 5. And he'll get it up to about the 20 before he's gang tackled. The Blue Jays will start with it from their own 20-yard line.
So at this point in the game, are you going more towards a pass offense, or are you sticking with the run? Despite, I mean, I know it's with the last drive, it was one play. It was, I wouldn't say it was lucky, but a little bit of luck there to be able to squeeze between the guys on that catch. Are you gonna go back to the passing game, or are you gonna really try and stick with the run, being down with just really a quarter to play?
Yeah, I think they have to go to the passing game now. The original game plan is kind of out the window, down by 22, approaching the fourth quarter. You got to throw the ball. They are going to hand it off. Nope, Rene's going to keep it, trying to run to the left side here. He's going to be taken down, no gain. Knocked down at the 20, second down, clock ticking to 30 seconds. So they try something a little different there with a sweep from quarterback Trevor Rene. But he doesn't get anything going. They're going to get one more play off before the end of the third quarter here. Takes the snap, drops back to throw. He's going to run to his right, pointing for someone. He's going to take it himself, go out of bounds with 1.8, so get one more play off maybe. A little bit short of the first down, 3rd and 2, up to the 29-yard line.
There's good coverage there by the defensive backs, but Rene was able to find some space on the outside and make positive yards out of that.
So final play of the third quarter here. Rene will hand it off to Meyer, and Meyer's taken down. I think he's short of the first down. Didn't quite get it up to the 30. And that'll be it for the third quarter. After 3, Zumwalt North leads Washington 35-13. You're watching it on the Panther Sports Network, brought to you by Prepcast.
Vandalia Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable, European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Are you looking to get that extra 10%? Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific, one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter. Sam Deed, Michael Wageneck here with you between Washington and Zumwalt North, and the Panthers have a 35-13 lead after 3 quarters. Now, we thought that third down run was stopped short, but a very favorable spot for the Blue Jays. They move it all the way up to the 31. It's a first down for Washington. So Rene under center. He's going to pitch it to the left for Meyer. Meyer trying to get away from Jalen Lee, and don't think he got anything. No gain. 2nd and 10. Actually lost a yard. They're going to mark him back at the 30, so ball don't lie. They're back to the 30 where we thought they would be. Now Rene out of the shotgun. Take the snap, big hit, throw is, should have been picked off. And it was dropped by Colin Pierce.
That
Hit him right in the hands.
It did. It did. A big-time pressure on the quarterback there. Had to force him to release that early, and it really right into the hands of the North defender.
I think that was Monning coming off the right side, laid a big hit on Rennie.
You can just see how fast he is, too. I mean, that was probably 3 seconds at most.
Yeah, and out of the shotgun, too. So 3rd and 11 here from the 30. This could be the game for Washington. Rennie drops back. He'll dump it off short, and nothing doing there.
He snuffed out that screen very easily.
Catch was made by Nolick.
You could see Monning was getting ready to go in on the quarterback, but read his eyes and stopped his pursuit short, and was one of 4 guys to tackle the running back.
So Washington's going to punt it away here. Hartrip back just inside his own half. Kick is away, and it was tipped. And this is going to roll. It's just inside the 40. Finally down by Luke Croder. And it gets worse for Washington, as now Zumwalt will have 1st and 10 from about the 39-yard line. Couldn't quite tell who blocked that for the Panthers. Somebody got a hand on it. Chance here to seal it for Zumwalt North.
Yeah, 10:34 to go here in the 4th quarter. 35-13 lead. Cairo Payne will lead his offense back out onto the field. Looking to put this game away, as Sam said. Fitrell in the backfield. 2 receivers far and near. Payne keeps it. Pitches it to Fitrell. Going to break a tackle and push a guy back to the 30. And he's going to be close, if not at the 1st down marker.
Futrell just running guys over. Took the pitch.
He just gets ahead of steam and he just goes.
Mark him at the 31. Just short of a 1st down.
There's some interesting spots here these last couple of minutes. Payne ready for the snap. Oaks in motion. Payne drops back to pass. He's going to loft that up to Newcomb. Newcomb with the catch, and he's going to be in for the score. Jack Newcomb, another touchdown reception for Jack Newcomb this year.
Just a straight go route, and Payne put it right on the money. Newcomb in stride.
And they talk all about Payne's legs and his ability to run the RPO offense, but I tell you what, his arm this year has been on display in a couple of different times, and that's why he's getting looks from different colleges, and I won't be surprised when he finally does make a commitment.
Drop that one right in the bucket.
That kick is up and good. A 42-13 lead for the Panthers. 9:46 to go here in the 4th quarter. It's the battle of unbeatens, and right now North is looking like they're going to remain that way. Still plenty of time to go here, so you can't really call this one just yet, but at this point it's pretty close.
Tough. It's going to be tough for the Blue Jays, especially, they had the one long pass, but other than that, really haven't been able to move the ball through the air. So they're going to have to change something up here and quickly.
Owen Sears is going to tee it up here for the Panthers. Bush back for the Blue Jays.
Especially, when the Panthers have the ball, the clock never stops. They're either completing passes or they're running it, and I mean they're a really tough team to come back on. Ball doesn't hit the ground very often.
A kick deep by Sears. That's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. No time off the clock there. And Washington will take over at their own 20.
.46 to go here in the 4th quarter.
And we'll see if now this becomes Monning time. As if Washington does have to start dropping back and passing. If they don't get that ball out quick, Monning's going to be on the quarterback, Rene, pretty quickly. And they've been moving Monning around. He's been on both sides of the line most of the game. Rene back to pass, being chased, and here comes Monning. Monning giving chase, and he's going to be bringing him down, and that's number 16 for Parker Monning. As Rene was going one way, didn't see anything, he was chased out of the pocket, right into the waiting arms of Parker Monning. That was for 71, Jalen Owens, who was giving chase up the middle as well.
Yeah, I should have kept running to the left side because as soon as he turned around, Monning was standing right there. Now they're all the way back to the 10.
9:10 on the clock as it continues to tick down. Monning will be on this near side once again. Man in motion, handed off. Number 28 up to about the 14-yard line.
Christian Meyer on the carry there. Gets a few back.
4-yard gain, 3rd and 16. Myers looked pretty good tonight for Washington. I mean, despite being down as much as they are, he's found the holes and he just runs. We'll see what they have dialed up here for 3rd and 16, though.
Yeah, I don't know how many plays they have in their playbook for 3rd and 16. Maybe try and get half of it back and go for it on 4th down. Really nothing to lose at this point.
Not at all. 2 receivers to the near side. Rene's going to swing that outside, and that ball's tipped by Chris Futrell. He's dropping back in coverage. Looked like he was going to be blitzing, but good play there by Futrell. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Off the hands of Nate Bush. Now they're going to have to punt. So that was the idea, to try and get about half of it back. Just didn't pan out.
A 42-13 lead for the Panthers here with 8:11 to go. Homecoming for Fort Zumwalt North. Stands are still pretty well packed. Band is up and cheering on the football team. And here is the kick. Hardtrip's going to be able to return this. Surveys the field, makes a cut to the left. Gets a man out blocking, and he's going to be brought down at about the 30-yard line. There's a flag on the field. We'll see what the call is on that. As the referees get together to discuss this. It looks like it's going to be going against Washington, though. Maybe. Got a couple of different flags on the field, actually. 7:58 to go here, 42-13.
Referee is pointing towards Washington. Now the Panther players are backing up. And it's going to be a hold on Zumwalt.
That one's declined.
So 2 flags on the play, that's it.
That's against Fort Zumwalt North as well.
So that's going to back them all the way up to close to midfield.
Very interesting calls tonight. But it'll be about the 43-yard line for Fort Zumwalt North with a 42-13 lead. As Payne will lead the offense back out. At this point, you're really just trying to run that clock down, keep possession of the ball. So 2 receivers to the far side, 2 receivers to the near side. Futrell behind Payne. Line is set. Hardtrip in motion. And he will get the handoff up the middle. And another flag coming in as well. About a 6-yard gain. We'll see if that stands. And that's holding against Fort Zumwalt again.
Yeah, they're really shooting themselves in the foot here. All you got to do is keep the clock moving and just keep running, maybe even up the middle. Don't really have to change anything about your offense.
And that hold looks like that may have come in the secondary, because that flag came in from that direction as well. Hard to say if that ref would be able to see a guy on the line holding. Now the clock will start up again. 7:45 to go in the fourth quarter. North looking to remain undefeated. Payne ready for the snap with Futrell behind him. And he will keep it with Futrell ready for the pitch. Payne up the middle. He's going to make a man miss at the 40, 25, 30. Oh, and Payne is going to break this down to the house. He's down to the 5. Touchdown, Panthers. Cairo Payne makes a man miss, cuts it back to the right-hand side, and has open daylight for the score.
I knew when he made the decision not to pitch it, once he saw all the open space on the right side of the field, he was just wanting to get to that side as fast as possible, and nobody was going to catch him once he got a little bit of green in front of him.
And a great block by the receiver. I didn't catch his number on the replay, but that was what really sprung him for the final part of that run. Sears will be on for the extra point, a 48-13 lead, looking to become 49.
Washington jumps offside.
There will be a flag there. And they're going to decline that penalty, just keep it right there for the point after. Beautiful night here in O'Fallon, Missouri, Fort Zumwalt North. Perfect football weather. And right now, Fort Zumwalt North has a 48-13 lead. 7:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Owen Sears on for the extra point. Kick is up and good. 49-13 now.
That'll be the icing on the cake there for the Panthers.
Pretty much. And while we got a moment, we want to thank our sponsor, St. Charles Flying Service, for sponsoring tonight's game. If you are interested in flying lessons, contact our sponsor, who is certified by the Missouri Department of Education for vocational flight training. For more information, remember to call them at 1-800-447-6066 or visit them online at stcharlesflyingservice.com. Well, we thought this game was going to be a pretty close one all night, and the score isn't really dictated how really close this game actually is.
Yeah, it was 21-6 at halftime. Washington came out of half with the ball, and that was really the turning point. If they go and put points on the board there, who knows what could happen, but it went 3 and out, and it's been all Zumwalt ever since.
And looking ahead, Zumwalt North will be traveling to Fort Zumwalt East next week, followed by a trip to Timberland, a big Class 6 matchup for them, and then they will finish up with Francis South Central here. As Sears kicks that ball deep to Bush, who receives it at the 2. And he's down to the near side, makes a man miss, and he's going to be brought down at about the 20.
And we are in running clock mode now, final 6 minutes.
So a couple more tough tests for the Fort Zumwalt North Panthers coming up in the next couple of weeks as they get geared up for the district playoffs. As you heard Coach Bacon in the pregame show, you know, really, if the season's good, they're only about a third of the way through the season. So right now the first third's looking good. Let's see if they can continue that on here in the second third and then hopefully take it to a state championship potentially. And Trevor Rene will lead Blue Jays offense back out as Bush is Meyer in motion, gets the handoff up the middle for a gain of about 3. bring up about 2nd and 6. As the clock will just continue to run with a 35-plus point lead.
And Washington's going to stick to their offense here. They're not going to try and do anything crazy.
You know, being a Class 4 team, I mean, really playing a Class 5, it's not really hurting them to lose. As Meyer gets the ball again up the middle, he's going to make a couple men miss, and he's going to get a first down on that. And it's great, a good experience for these kids, especially going into their district playoffs as well. I mean, going up against a team that's maybe a little bit faster, not necessarily bigger, got good talent. They can take what they've learned here and really apply that to their upcoming games and their tournaments.
Yeah, definitely faster. This will be one of the fastest teams they see all year for sure.
Definitely. 4:25 in the 4th. And Rene's going to keep that. Gets to the outside and goes out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. First time we've really seen Rene run out of the pocket. And it'll be 4 minutes and counting to a 6-0 start. Parker Monning on the near side here. Already has a sack tonight, up to 16. And the ball carrier, Meyer. And the ball's out, and that's picked up by Futrell. Futrell's going to run that and take that to the house for another Fort Zumwalt North touchdown.
Just kind of landed right in his arms, and he looked up, hey, I got it, I'm off.
And as you'll see on the replay here, running back gets into the scrum there, and then Futrell just kind of rips it out and just goes into the end zone for the score.
So Futrell, 1 touchdown on both sides of the ball now.
And Sears will be on for the extra point. That ball is up and in. 56-13.
45-point second half for Zumwalt. Did not see that one coming.
No, not at all. I mean, they've played well in the second halves of most of their games and really extended their leads, but nothing like we've seen in this second half here. And don't forget, head on over to Bleachers after the game. Their kitchen will be open till midnight. They do that at every Friday night that the Panthers have a home game, so get over there for some fresh, never frozen burgers, homemade pizza, try one of their 7 homemade wing sauces. We had some of those last week. Absolutely delicious. Make sure you guys get over to Bleachers after the game. Check them out. And we got about 2:43 to go here in the 4th quarter. Zumwalt North is going to move to 6-0. Washington's going to suffer their first defeat of the season. And not for lack of trying. It wasn't really anything that they did wrong. It was just a tough matchup against a Class 5 team. And we'll be looking forward to seeing how they progress in Class 4. And Fort Zumwalt North will be pushed back on their kickoff here. Back to the 25. Start to see some of the second string guys coming in as number 55 Logan Knapp comes in on the kickoff team. Crowd's still loud. And the kick to Bush is going to catch that at about the 20. Up the middle. And it'll be met at about the 32-yard line. Jeremiah Dickerson. And under 2 to go here in the 4th. Sam, what did you see tonight that surprised you?
Well, I mean, I don't know about surprising, but Hartrip and Payne have just been too much for Washington to handle. Right from the opening kickoff, Hartrip took it the length of the field to the house, and ever since then, those two have just been a handful for Washington. They just haven't been able to figure out how to stop those two guys.
And they've been like that for every team that they've faced this year, unfortunately for them. And Meyer with the ball up the middle to the 37. As we are approaching a minute to go here in the game, don't forget to head over to Twitter after the game for the post-game show with Coach Joe Bacon. We'll ask him a couple of questions about tonight's game, see his reaction and thoughts on the win. I'm sure he won't be totally happy with what happened tonight.
There's been some negatives, but overall.
And the pitch outside, and that'll be dropped for a loss of 4 with 45 seconds to go here.
They'll run probably one more play.
As the play clock is at 28 with 35 to go. So the final play of the game coming up here between the Panthers and Blue Jays. 56-13. Panthers will move to 6-0. Washington will fall to 5-1. That ball's handed off to Pauly along the or Meyer on the outside, and he'll be brought down after a game of about 1. And that is going to do it for tonight's game. A 56-13 win for Zumwalt North. And I tell you what, the press box is shaking as these fans get up and get loud on this homecoming night. And the clock strikes triple zeros. 56-13, Fort Zumwalt North Panthers defeat the Washington Blue Jays. The Panthers move to 6-0. They'll face Fort Zumwalt East next week at Fort Zumwalt East. Washington does fall to 5-1. Once again, join us on Twitter for the post-game show with Coach Joe Bacon. Thank you guys for joining us. Once again, a 56-13 Fort Zumwalt North Panther victory. Thank you for listening to the Panther broadcast, powered by Prepcast.com.